Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
High pressure, high stakes. It feels like the whole world's watching every move that I make. Another sunrise, another warning, but I'm still learning how to hold the line, how to quiet down the noise inside. And the moments slip away when I forget what I need. So I steady up my hands, let the rhythm set me free. I remember to breathe when the whole world shakes me down. Clear mind, finally free. I won't break, I won't bow. I'm holding on, holding on. Yeah, I'm stronger than I seem. I remember to breathe.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome into the High Side Motorsports round 12 of Season 1. So we go racing here at Pocono Raceway this evening for the Tricky Triangle, as we'll be running 60 laps and 150 miles of this circuit here this evening. Before we get into our regular catch-ups and intros into tonight's event, just want to talk through a couple of things to begin with. Of course, tonight's race is named after Brutus, the family dog of the Smathers family. Of course, Zach is a part of the admin team in High Side Motorsports, and we wanted to take this time to give our thoughts and our condolences with the Smathers family, who unfortunately lost Brutus last week at the ripe old age of 14, and ultimately he lived a very full and very long and loving life, dear Brutus, and we wanted to share our condolences once again. And we just also wanted to quickly read out a small poem about loss by Mary Elizabeth Fry as well, to commemorate tonight's event. And tonight's about fun times, of course. It's about fun racing, but also it's about recognising the loss that has happened for one of our competitors within the field and within our community as well. So, do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I'm 1,000 winds that blow. I'm the diamond glints on snow. I'm the sunlight on ripened grain. I'm the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circle flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. I'd just like to take this to have a quick moment's silence in memory of Brutus, of who we are dedicating tonight's broadcast to. Thank you all for participating, and welcome in as we go racing tonight for the Brutus 150 here at Pocono Raceway. Hamish Munro here with you alongside, and now, unfortunately, apparently, a little bit ill, Jack Anderson alongside me. Jack, as it appears that through the magic of internet, I have given you the sickness. Hopefully, though, you're down with the sickness for tonight's race as we go racing for 60 laps here at Pocono. It's bound to be a fun time. We've seen some incredible racing of this circuit previously, and I think these drivers are going to be up to the challenge tonight to put on an incredible race for us and an incredible show as well.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit down with the sickness after I'm a bit disturbed after I've heard that. But yeah, this is a great track. It's really challenging with the different types of corners, and it should bring out the best in some of the boys. So I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm very excited as well as we come into tonight's round. This is the current lay of the land in terms of the championship standings. Austin Cole is leading the way, 493 points at this stage, ahead of Mike Rinker on 448. And ultimately, Austin Cole last week maximised the stage points, and then we thought he may not have had a good chance at final race points in the end after a tough run. But inevitably, he came home with a very solid performance once again, extending his championship lead over Mike Rinker. Bailey Brandon sits in behind on 413 points, with Kevin Winker and Trey Jones making up our top 5 at this stage of the season. Ultimately, though, it is becoming a 2-horse race between Mike and Austin at the top end of town. And after tonight's race, of course, Jack, we've only got a handful of rounds to go this season. as we look out towards Talladega next week, Iowa and Charlotte. And ultimately for Mike, he has to perform tonight. He has to maximise, and really he needs Austin Cole to finish at the back end of the field, and he needs to be finishing at the front. Otherwise, this championship could be written off before we even get out to Charlotte Motor Speedway at the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly. He's might have to put in a little magic to make Austin Cole finish low, you know, put in rub a little genie lamp or something, then make 3 wishes. But
maybe give the genie a little belly rub, and that might help him a little bit. A belly rub.
Yeah, he's still in it. Even I think mathematically, like Rinker and some of the other guys are still possibly in it. So yeah, it's anyone's game really. If anyone messes around or has a real shocker for a couple of weeks in a row, they could be in for some trouble.
They could be. Well, time will tell, and we'll have to wait and see how it pans out across the final few rounds of course. Have a quick look as well where we are in the season of course. Round 12 this evening. 28 laps will be the end of the first stage, and lap 60 will be race's end as well. It'll be the exact same next week when we're racing out at Talladega for the 13th round of the season as well. We still have Iowa and Charlotte to come. 3 different race circuits that'll test drivers, of course, with the different racing styles you have to bring to the fast-paced superspeedway of Dega, the short track of Iowa, and then the sort of 1.5 mile speedway in Charlotte at the end of the season as well. So it's going to be exciting when we get racing at those events, as we're about to get into qualifying and drivers prepare themselves for what is to come here this evening. And ultimately, if you're Mike Rinker, you've got to maximise qualifying tonight. If you're Austin Cole, well, you've just got to play defensive game. You've got to play the game of, let's make sure we get up the front. Let's make sure we stay up the front. And that's just maximise points where we can. And ultimately, it doesn't matter if Mike beats him on the road, Jack, if it's only by 1 or 2 positions. And Austin will know that, and he should be able to cruise along tonight, not having to fight for a race win. But the ego may say to him, look, we want the win. But hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him if it does work out that way.
Yeah, it's the age-old saying of a win doesn't win you a championship, it's consistency. You got to be Mr. Consistent, and you always got to be there or thereabouts, and then all the points will add up. Oh, as he's in the wall, that's a great start.
Fantastic start. Exactly what he would have wanted from qualifying.
Exactly. I reckon he's doing that on purpose. He's trying to...
For sure.
He's trying to give himself a bit of a debuff. Well,
what I've noticed actually in the field, so we're talking about Mike Rinker, not even in the field this evening. I see he's not even in the session. So, if he's taking a provisional tonight, which is worth last place points, he needs Austin Cole to finish in last. Really, that's what Mike needs. He can't afford Austin Cole to win this race, because if he does, it's going to run him out of the championship pretty much. If you're Bailey Brannon, you then sit in the position now where you need to do what Mike needed to do. You need to try and win. You need Austin at the back end of town. As Brannon goes to P2 of 54.39 in qualifying here, Mercero has gone to 54.18 in his previous best attempt now as they continue on for their second laps here in qualifying. We could be in for maybe a little X factor tonight as Will McKellar goes to the top, 54.07. We know the 92's had good pace all season. We're just waiting for that breakout moment, and it could come late here in the championship here tonight out at Pocono. Time will tell for William McKellar. Of course, sign-ups are currently coming in for Season 2, of course, and team requests are coming in as well. There are some strong lineups coming into next season, Jack, in terms of some teams. I mean, we look at 325 Racing for next season. The combination of Mike Rinker, Kevin Winker, William McKellar and Nick Mercero amongst that team. That's going to be a strong combination. Infinity Motorsports joins the series with Paul Harris, Zach Smathers, Will Kern and Jesse James as a part of that team. So that's going to be a strong combo as well. And Coolman Racing returns at this stage. Magnus Anderson and Ryan Hatch alongside Bucket Motor Club as well. Bailey Brannon, Posey Kareen and Joe Dyson. But there are going to be some strong combos out there, and where some other teams that could start to form some strong relationships amongst themselves. I think the Teams Championship is going to be super tight next season, knowing how strong some of those combinations are for the 4-man crews.
Yeah, you can never count out the Jewel Diamonds team, and once you got the human tiramisu on your team, you're always in for a good chance. So.
I wonder if he's got a little bit of a pep in his step since he is the human tiramisu. As Charles Rinker goes to P3 in the John Deere entry, he's farmed himself with P3 here in qualifying, it seems. and really just tractoring ahead. We're getting as many puns out of our system at this point as we can, Jack, really.
At the end of the season, you may as well.
You may as well. We just throw a little dart out there every now and again. Now, I know that there's contemplation from yourself to race next season, and I know that if you will, you might have a strong combo on your hands with Trey Jones possibly joining your outfit for next season. Is there any word on that being official at any stage?
Yeah, we're looking to maybe I just join essentially Trey's team and we keep the same lineup sort of thing as they've had this season, minus one of the drivers who's not really going to be racing next season. But if I'm commentating next season, which I'm more than happy to do, then it'll still go that way, but then we'll try and find another person as a fourth rather than myself.
Well, we can see final lap times are coming in. Zach Smathers has pulled out of his lap. He's gone P16 at this stage. Joe Dyson has not managed to improve his time. Kevin Rinker is still yet to set a lap time here in qualifying. He's going to run out of time. And the 42... Oh, my apologies. The 42 and the winner of the in-season tournament. That came out at the very wrong moment. The winner of the in-season tournament is going to be starting from the back of the field for the first stage of this race. 28 laps to come our way. And it is going to be as intense as ever for these drivers to fight their way to the very front end of town. William McKellar will start pole position alongside Nick Mercereau on the front row of the grid. Charles Rinker, Will Kern starting behind them with Austin Cole and Bailey Brannon. Ahead of Justin McCurdy and Robert Stevens Jr. for our top 8. Magnus Anderson will start ahead of Jesse James and Cody Pruitt and Ryan Hatch in behind them as we move out of the way on back to Trey Martin and Paul Harris starting ahead of Keith Vaughan and Zach Smathers, with Damon Marotta and Austin Stamper starting ahead of Joe Dyson and Kevin Rinker at the back end of the field. Thank you for calling out my good Burt Brown in the chat there. And it just shows that I'm hungry for some hot action here tonight, Jack. It's just pouring out of my system.
You sure you're hungry, or have you been filling up on some Monster or something?
How dare you call me out for the exact thing that I've been doing this morning.
You've been fueling yourself up.
How dare you? How dare you? I fueled myself up last night before I did a broadcast late last night for OGRL Coffee Cup Series I covered for you and O'Leary, who I've worked with quite a few times. These guys know well, of course. Unfortunately, Ewan's in the hospital at the moment with an appendix issue. So from all of us here in Infinity Broadcasting, we want to give out our thoughts to Ewan O'Leary as well, and hoping that he can make a speedy recovery very shortly with his appendix issues that he's been dealing with. But yeah, and ironically, Jack, guess what track OGRL Coffee Cup GTs were at this morning when I was calling it at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Was it Red Bull Ring?
It was Red Bull Ring.
Disgusting.
I saw where it was, and I'm like, oh my god, it's absolute fate that I get to call a race at the Red Bull Ring. So it was a great way to end my day before I went to bed. But yeah, so I fueled up before then. I spent about 3 hours making gumbo before I did that broadcast last night. Turned out very nicely, actually. So shout out to my cohort from Motormouth Broadcasting, of course, Louisiana native, now living in Galveston, Texas, and Mr. Jim Cunningham. Made some Cajun food. It was very, very good, actually. So I have now found something that I enjoy a little bit too much, Jack, and I may spend too much time making gumbos from now on. But yeah, we'll see what comes from that in the future. Right, 28 laps of the first stage of this race. Both of us feel, as we spoke prior to the show, that we could get some good green flag runs here tonight. Ultimately, I feel cautions are going to come from driver error more so than maybe spatial awareness issues, just based on how wide the circuit is. They don't need to be running door-to-door around here. And I think ultimately, because this is such a driver technical specific circuit in terms of driver skill, not skill issues necessarily, but driver error I think is going to have a bigger part to play than what some people may feel in terms of causing cautions. But I don't think it's going to cause a caution fest for us and have an eye-pacing issue here at Pocono this evening.
Oh, you never worry about an eye-pacing issue. We just take it how it is. Surely, I'm sure these boys are more than capable of keeping it clean. And although they'll probably prove me wrong as I'm talking about it, I give them the commentator's curse. But
they do love believing in your commentator's curse. Ultimately enough, I don't know what it is about you and about hexing people, but you You put the hexes out
Bailey's
there.
definitely going to win then.
Yeah, for sure. Well, he's yet to take a race win this season, and
Exactly.
he
I'm
really
cursing
needs
him
one.
right now.
Well, he really
Easy.
needs one tonight if it's going to happen. Green flag's up. Lights are going to go out. And we're green flag at Pocono here, Jack, and it's a fast-paced run and a long run down towards turn number 1.
You're a poet and didn't know it.
I know. No, it's all about poetry this evening as they enter turn 1 for the first time and trying to run their way around the tricky triangle. We'll see if they can get themselves a perfect break here.
They're 3 wide.
They are 3 wide. Nearly 4 wide, in fact. Almost staggered 4 wide down the backstretch as they roar on past. And pressure's on now to try and survive here, but McKellar has rocketed off the start line. He's got pace here tonight. He may just go on to win this race.
Yeah, you just don't. You just hope he's not going to burn his tyres off too early if he goes too hard too quickly. But
can be a bit of a tyre killer, of course, Jack. And you've run around here before in what did we run?
only in some
Was it the-
street stuff.
Oh no, I was going to say, didn't we run the next gens here, or was it the Arcas that we ran here? So.
I wasn't here for it.
Oh, that's right. You were at the Normal.
I was in Europe.
Yeah, you were at the Normal for that round. But
That was next gens.
yes, it was next gens. But well, we can see as well that Justin McCurdy in that beautiful Pepsi paint scheme. It's honestly becoming one of my favourites in the field. Just running well ahead of Will Kern now. At this stage, of course, Will won the race last time out. Good pace. It's good to see he's back in the field. If you recall earlier in the season, he was going to sell his whole rig. He was going to sell everything. He didn't have time to race, and all of a sudden he's back, and he's back full time and full firing and running into next season with a new team for him. He could be on to maybe try and take him a championship here in High Side.
Yeah, quite possibly. He's a great driver, and it's funny to see those sort of moments where they're going to sell the rig and then they kind of have a little bit of a break from it, or I guess you could say come back and then they get absolutely hooked again. So always happens. You always have those lulls and things like that, but
it's a bit of hook, line and sinker stuff, isn't it? And speaking about hook, line and sinker, Magnus Anderson went fishing previously and has lacerated his wrist, and all I can say is, Jack, and I told this to him as well, that's what he gets for going fishing. Honestly, get a new hobby, Magnus. There's better things
maybe
to do.
Maybe he
when
should go
you're bored.
yabby.
Go yabby hunting, yeah, get the yabby nets out, see what happens then. You won't lacerate your wrist, but you might have your finger cut off by a claw, but he's running well at this stage, even with that injury on his wrist at this point in time, up 3 positions into P6, and he's starting to move up the order once again. Flick of the wrist, and he gets it past Charles Rinker into the top 5 now, and Rinker's had a poor run off the start, as has Kern, both cars down 3 positions at this point of the race. Jesse James down 8 positions off the race start as well. Some work to do here for James to get back up the order tonight. Had good pace in practice and qualifying, but he just hasn't maximised off this race start. As we've now begun lap 4 and we run down the backstretch once again, and McKellar is running strong with Cole, McCurdy, Brandon and Anderson in behind to make up the top 5. Tell you what, McCurdy is looking racy tonight, Jack. He's got some good pace in this 4 car, but Brannon is all over him at this point in time as they enter turn 3 once again. Brannon on a hot run at this point, still hasn't taken that race win yet, Jack. And I have to ask, is it even going to happen this season? Because he's not got the run of form, and He's making the change back to the 6 for next season in terms of his car number. Has the 19 got a curse on it? Is that what's been hurting him this season? Because ultimately it has not been the Bailey Brannon of old.
I would say yes, because it's got Kyle Gretsch's number, so.
Yep.
And we all know how Kyle Gretsch goes.
We do.
He's essentially a carnage magnet.
For those who followed the law of Infinity Broadcasting back to the days to as far as the Legends World Challenge and into the GT4 Challenge and then through the Rodnott Cup as well, you will know the history of Kyle Gretsch and how unlucky that man can be, but also how some skill issues can also affect him sometimes as well. And of course, he famously on the channel has run the number 19, and it hasn't always worked out for him. So I agree, Jack. I think Bailey is being empowered by a South Australian electrician who struggles to run a race sometimes. I think that is the issue for Bailey right
I
now.
don't think that Kyle's unlucky. I think he brings it on himself. To be honest,
I was trying to be nice, but I will agree. I do think he brings it upon himself, especially
he literally drove
Grandin
backwards on dirt road.
Yeah, Grandin Raceway. Man got lost on a circuit or Raceway Park. Kyle got lost around the track and ended up driving backwards because he got lost. It's the times of when we would fill officials with 5 of us to go racing in dirt road just to pick up our own licenses. Oh, the days of old were a grand time.
Get up to A class.
We need to convince some of these boys to come do some Pro 4 trucks after this race. I reckon, Jack, we'll just go sling them around a little bit.
Won't be able to do some after this race, but I definitely reckon we should.
I think so. I reckon on the weekend we should get them out there and jumping the Pro 4 trucks somewhere, whatever it may be. If it's a Bark River, I'll even buy the track to go racing. But Brandon, as we've been discussing, Brandon's been making moves. He's been moving forward.
Cole had a go at McKellar and he's fallen back a little bit. And Bailey's made his way up. As I say that, though, he's fallen behind McCurdy. And Austin Cole's going to have a go at him.
We'll see if Cole can get this done into turn 2. But he just slips it by. And I guess this is the toing and throwing sort of rhythm now that we're going to get into, where drivers are going to be swapping and changing positions. Of course, this is really, Jack, Pocono is a proper tri-oval. It's an oval with 3 corners on it. And I don't understand the thought process of calling a regular tri-oval a tri-oval because it has 5 or 6 corners on it. I mean, that's not tri. That's tri is 3. No, it doesn't work when you have 5 or 6
Yeah, that's
corners.
only because Americans like to call halfway through the curve.
Yeah, another
turn 1 and 2, or 3 and 4. But this is one of those traditional ones. Bailey's going for the move now.
He is. Big dive from Bailey at turn 2 as he goes for the move. I suppose the only real oval circuits that have 4 corners realistically are Homestead and Indianapolis. Now those types of ovals which have got the long straights with defined corners at either end, and they're non-tri-ovals. That's where we can really see proper 4-corner
But would you not call Indy a rectangle?
Oh yeah, it is a rectangle. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so is Homestead. There's some other tracks out there that are like Homestead as well. But this battle between the top 4 continues on. McKellar's still got great pace, but he's not running away from these guys, so the slipstream is working well for them. Watch Magnus Anderson here. He wants an early move onto Brannon. He's been biding his time in behind Brannon's car as he continues to push forward here. And of course, for those drivers out there tonight, some of them are running special liveries in support of the Smathers family and in memoriam of Brutus. Of course, Brannon's got the special livery on board his car. I did mention to him though when he showed it to me, Jack, I don't know how Zach would feel about having Brutus's name on a Florida State livery, but Brandon said it's okay. So
it's just the colours. He's replaced all of the Florida State.
He has.
Signage.
Looks better than the Seminoles livery he normally runs. First pit stops coming in. McKellar, Cole, Hatch, Smathers, James and Stamper are all in. So they're running fuel pretty consistently here early. I have a feeling, Jack, that they may not be able to make the end of the stage. I think those guys are just coming in a little bit earlier, trying to offset themselves a bit, maybe get out on track and push on some fresh, brand new tyres. So we know Pocono can kill tyres very quickly because of the progressive banking around here as McKellar exits pit road ahead of Cole. And McKellar, I don't think McKellar's taken tyres. 6.5 seconds was the stop time. I think he's only taken fuel on board that car.
Yeah, quite possibly he might be doing the strat of save a set and maybe use them later in the day, because a lot can happen. If we get some cautions breed cautions, or as they say everywhere else, safety cars breed safety cars. So it could all pop off and he could be waiting to take some tyres later on in the race, and then he has an advantage over the rest.
I think it's a smart play, especially if he hasn't been burning them up. I mean, he's not really been challenged when he was at the front end of the field, of course. So he's been able to nurse those tyres a little bit better. Anderson hugging the inside line, trying to get out of the draft, it seems. So I wonder if he's just indicating he's going to be coming into pit road this time by possibly, but be a bit early to do so. But his top 5 still running in a tight line astern. We then go 2 seconds back, and we've got Paul Harris with a nice little gap here over an intensifying battle between Cody Pruitt and his teammate Robert Stevens, and Trey Martin at the front end of this as well. So we can see that Pruitt, Stevens and Marotta, the teammates of Arch City Racing, alongside Zach Smathers, they're all working together once again as this little trio. And I tell you what, Jack, if this trio find a new 4th guy for their team next season with Smathers leaving the team and handing the reins over to Pruitt, they're going to be a strong outfit, and they're going to be one to watch.
Yeah, 100%. There's every team seems to be bolstering themselves and building, and they all look tantalizing to make a great fucking.
We might actually have. Well, we might actually have to. We might actually have to track the team standings next season, just based on how close it's going to be. That's also $1 in the swear jar for you, Mr. Anderson, as well.
That's my first.
Yeah, it's your first one. No, it's your first one for the season. We'll knock it in. It's all right. It's okay. But Justin McCurdy is coming into pit lane, so another pit stop here. We'll see where he actually ends up now, because he's been running amongst that pack. But those guys that pitted earlier on, they've almost been running alone, aside from McKellar and Cole, who are tightly compacted together here. Smathers has got a bit of a tow buddy in Ryan Hatch as well. So we'll see where this actually places McCurdy and Trey Martin, who follows him into pit lane now as well. So some moves are happening throughout the field. Pit stops are occurring as well. Let's see where McCurdy ends up and see if he takes tyres or if it's just going to be fuel. It is tyres on board this car. Is it only going to be right sides, or is he going to take all 4 as he's in pit road? It's only right sides as he lights up the rears and gets it out of pit road. So McCurdy pushes on. Cole and McKellar scream on by. And again, good game of time for them, only taking fuel, although Cole did take right side tyres on his previous stop. So the fuel only stop has not worked out ultimately what McKellar would have wanted, because Cole now could be in the effective race lead here, leading to the halfway point of the stage. Paul Harris now in pit lane as well, Jack. So I wonder, have these guys maybe gone a little bit too long? Did the other drivers perhaps call it correctly, pitting a little bit earlier, get the fresher tyres on board, gain some time? I suppose the newer tyres will help you later in the run, but at this point, if you're building gap and you run out of draft, that's only going to hurt you throughout the rest of this point for the first stage of this race.
Yeah, it's interesting to see some of the strategies play out. Some people might, as you said, go early. Some people might go long. Maybe take some tyres. Some won't. If you take tyres early, it'll give you it'll give you a advantage on it early, so then you can maybe build that gap. But towards the end of the stint, when the other people that pitted later have the tyre advantage come back to them, then the gap will come down, and you'll definitely hurt if you try and stretch those tyres too long.
Yeah, well, we'll see how long McKellar wants to stretch them, as Vaughan's now into pit road as well. So McKellar, Smathers, James and Stamper all only taking fuel on their previous stop. The other drivers are either taking right sides, including Cole, McCurdy, and then the full time, and Trey Martin, of course, his time is about 10 seconds. That's only right sides. And then 2 other drivers have come into pit road and have taken full sets here, Ryan Hatch and Paul Harris, as Joe Dyson just drops down the order once again and looks to come into pit road. Oh, well, I don't think Joe understands. You actually don't have to run the full pit entry here at Pocono. He could have just run round turn 3 and then entered pit lane on the other side. So that's a little bit of track acclimatization needs for Joe Dyson there. He didn't need to run the full pit entry, but something to learn for future.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit lack of practice to get the track knowledge. As everyone else seems to be coming in now to do their stops. I have just thought that maybe the people that aren't taking tyres are saving a set, because it is only about 15 laps or so until the stage end, which will be a caution and bundle everyone back up.
Yeah, I think so.
That could also be another.
I think so.
Get a little game.
Yeah, I agree. I think if they can run clean to the end of the stage, for McKellar, of course, he's P2 in the corrected standings at this point in time. If he can run behind Cole pretty comfortably on older tyres to the stage end, well, that means he can take a set of tyres for free under the caution, and he'll have a fresh set to push on. And if Cole takes another set of right sides, well, he's going to be wasting another set of tyres. So Cole's going to put himself in a position now where if he takes tyres, he's not going to... If he doesn't take tyres, he's not going to really gain anything over McKellar. And if he does take tyres, he's going to be wasting a set where McKellar's would have only used one. So it's going to put them on even ground. But later in the race, in terms of the balancing of those tyres, McKellar's actually going to be in the better position to have a fresh set to the end. So it'll be an interesting one in how this plays out now throughout the rest of this stage.
Yeah, 100%. And as we're watching the battle of the top 4 at the moment, you can really see that Magnus is going really hard into well, he has been going really hard in and helping Brannon and bump drafting him down the front straight, try and help them both get a bit of maybe an advantage over the people that have pitted if they bump draft and help each other rather than attack each other.
Well,
we've seen a lot of people.
I've noticed on the clock the timing of the gap. The gap's actually been shrinking for those guys that have already pitted. So Cole, McKellar, McCurdy are shrinking this gap at this point in time. So actually the fact that these guys are going longer is only hurting them now because they're running at a slower pace, slightly slower pace than those guys that have pitted and are actually running on their own. Last lap by, Brannon only managed a 56.59. Austin Cole, who is running on his own with no draft, did a 55.32. McCurdy with draft has just done a 55.08. So these guys are running faster than those top 4 on these fresher tyres. And the top 4 only hurting themselves right now by staying out for so long. These guys may drop back well into the rear end of the top 10. Maybe even out of the top 10 if they don't go if they go too long.
Said that he's coming in now.
Okay, so Bailey's going to be in. We'll see where he ends up.
The rest of them have stayed out though.
They have.
So they must be banking on tyres lasting a lot longer.
I think so, but the issue is they're going slightly too long. We'll see if Kevin Rinker comes into pit lane as well. Kern and Anderson battle for the race lead into turn 1. And I suppose maybe they're more banking Jack on the end of race result more so than the stage result. They're not banking on stage points. They're banking on race points tonight. But from what we've seen with so many drivers coming to pit road, I don't think they can make the stage end on fuel. If they can, fantastic. But if they can't, I don't see the point in running so long right now because they're chewing up time. I mean, Cole has gone from a 30-second gap to the top 4 to only 22 seconds now. So he's gained 8 seconds on them based on how fast his lap times have been. These guys are chewing up time on the clock at this stage.
Yeah, you just got to wonder whether they are able to make it home. Bailey must have thought he might have been able to and then pulled the trigger thinking that it's best to pit now, but it does seem like it's a bit too late. He's dropped so many spots.
He's taken 4 tyres, so now he's going to be forced into a position as Paris gets passed by Pruitt there. He's going to be forced into a position on this caution stop because of this stage break to only take fuel. He can't afford to take tyres because he's going to bury himself further in the field again. So, where we look at the alternative with McKellar, McKellar can take tyres and not give up too much time, where Brannon's only going to be able to take fuel, and his tyres are going to be 10 laps older than what McKellar's are going to be. And ultimately, I think these guys are running too long. They're giving up so much time, and it's only going to be worth it for Anderson, Kern, and Rinker if they only take fuel on this stop. They can't afford to take tyres, but if they do, or if they don't, they're going to be giving up more time to the stage end as well. It's a very odd balancing act. And we'll see how this plays out as Mercero, the old tiramisu, comes into pit lane in the 94 entry. We've got to get him a tiramisu car, Jack.
Surely.
Little Italian-based car for him. As Anderson and Kern are continuing to run side by side. But what is this doing to the tyres? Because they've given up bulk time to those that are behind them who've already pitted. And they're losing time on circuit here to those guys. But with 8 to go, can they make it to the stage end? If they could, great, you get stage points. But if you can, then begs the question, why did Brannon come in if these guys can make it to the end?
Well, I mean, these guys have been in the draft the whole time, whereas Bailey was he was out the front, so that might also play into the fuel saving. But I I'm not 100% sure if they will make it. It'll be great for them if they do. They get essentially a free pit stop under caution. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, seeing people come in and take 4 tyres. I mean, Brandon is starting to make his way back through the field. He's up to 12th already, but it's strange, because then you're gonna deal with the traffic and that'll slow you down, and essentially that'll be helping the guys that stay out. When Bailey's trying to fight through the field, he won't be making up as much ground as he could be.
That's right. As Kern now gets a run on the backstretch on Magnus Anderson. He'll take the race lead into turn 3. We're right on board with Charles Rinker at this point in time as well. And Charles has been having a strong run in the races that he has run this season. And ultimately for him, he wants to try and get some good points on the board here tonight. His championship run, well, it's relatively speaking, is over. He'll be wanting to put a proper run at it for next season as well, though. And ultimately, what we've seen thus far in this race, Jack, is nice, good, clean and green running. No incidents to report upon. We've had no incidents at all.
You've said it now.
I know. But yeah, no incidents to report upon. And no cautions to this point as well. I mean, ultimately, it's been fantastic, clean, green running, and fantastic driving from these drivers out there as well. It's been great to see.
It definitely has, and it's hats off to them for being able to do so far 23 laps of clean running. It's great to see, and hopefully we can continue that after the stage caution as Anderson's into pit lane.
He's in pit lane. Here's Magnus Anderson as he brings it through pit road. So he finally commits to the pit stop, but how low is he going to go? Is he only going to take fuel? If you've run this long, well, you might as well only take fuel, because you're going to get a free pit stop in 5 laps' time. But again, he was running at the front with hardly any draft. I think if anyone's going to make it to the end of this stage, it's going to be Charles Rinker, who's been in the tow the whole time. He's been in the draft the whole time. He's been able to save fuel. The problem for him is, though, if Kern comes in, the fuel save's going to go out the window.
Just heard that Charles is going to pit.
Okay. So Anderson only takes fuel, just to confirm. He's come out just in behind Cody Pruitt, but he's going to drop bulk positions to Harris and might even drop back to Brandon here, who's on fresh tyres. There's Ryan Hatch as well. So Magnus Anderson has dropped bulk positions here as Kern and Rinker into pit lane. So Austin Cole will take the race lead. In fact, Kevin Winker's run so long here, he's actually been passed by Cole and McCurdy on the road with a pit stop in hand. So for Winker, he has really dropped the ball tonight, it seems, after dropping down the order now behind those guys previously, as Cole will come past pit road. He'll take back the race lead. Charles Rinker and Kern are into the boxes. We'll see if they only take fuel, or if there's going to be tyres put on these things. It's only fuel for Kern. What about for Rinker? It's only fuel as well. So they're going to take tyres on the caution stop, but we'll see where this lands them. But they have ultimately dropped big positions here. Charles is going to drop outside the top 10. Will Kern is going to be at pressure, dropping to the back end of the top 10. So running too long has cost them. And Brandon has pulled out a lifeline by coming in that little bit earlier than them.
Yeah, and you got to wonder if Winker is actually able to make it with 4 laps to go in the stage, if he's maybe been clutching it into the corners rather than like going full fuel saving mode, like you see in the V8 supercar leagues, where people just clutch in, engine off on the entry to corners sometimes, just to save that little extra. But if he's done that, that's a masterclass, and he's actually been able to do it. Gets a free stop under the caution. But if he hasn't, you think he's gone way too long, and because he's almost got, you can see Brandon and that whole group right in behind him.
Well, it is a struggle now for some of them to be running for this long, of course, and they're just trying to bolster themselves forward within this race and get themselves to the end as well as best they can, as we continue with Kevin Winker. Continues to push on here. So we'll see if Winker can get his car to the very end of this stage. Brandon continues to battle away with Trey Martin at this point. of the race. He's doing a fantastic job. There's Brannon. Look forward to what the next stage could bring. It's been incredibly close throughout this stint for these drivers, of course, and it's been a wondrous race thus far. And again, only so much can be said for how nice and tidy it's been throughout this race for all involved. And really, Jack, it's been a it's been a masterclass for Austin Cole at this point. I mean, for McKellar, he's taken those tyres obviously, but he's also now dropped to Justin McCurdy, who only took right side. So for McKellar to not take tyres, that's cost him ultimately P2 on the road. But with only a few laps to run here in the stage, could Kevin Rinker make it? He's only got one more left, and he'll make it to the stage end on a massive fuel save game. This could be a masterclass for Kevin Rinker, who's up 17 positions and is looking to go to the stage end. As they push on towards the end of it and the end of stage number 1. It has been super tight, super close, and super clean all race as well. And for Austin Cole, it is going to be solid points on the board once again as he runs it up towards the final corner here at the stage end. Somehow Kevin Rinker has tried to push on. He's dropping positions. As he running out of fuel? Oh, he is. It's a massive clutch in down the back straight. Has he thrown this thing away? Has he thrown it away? He may have to just come in on this lap. As Austin Cole crosses the line, he'll win the stage. Justin McCurdy, P2. Brannon to McKellar.
Oh, he's come
to Pruitt. He's had to come in. He's just not made it. With Martin and Harris and Kern and Stevens and Ryan Hatch for the top 10 in the stage. And ultimately there were drivers that gave up positions, as Magnus Anderson has been in pit lane now for the last 3 minutes. He's had to tow back to pit lane. Something's happened. And I have to wonder if that wrist has started to play up for Magnus. And if that's the reason why he has had to pull out of this one.
I'll tell you what, though, with Rinker doing his pit stop now, he might actually jump back up the order when everyone else pits.
Well, that's right. He may do. He doesn't have to pit under the stage brake caution. He's already pitted now, so he'll be able to come straight back out again. He won't go a lap down. Oh, actually, he's got to get out quick because Cole may put him a lap down here. So he's got to get this thing moving and out of pit road.
He's out in front of the pace truck.
Yeah, he's out in front of the pace truck, so that's fine. So he will remain on the lead lap. This could be a little bit of a masterclass because he's going to be able to go full rip. He's on fresh tyres, fresh fuel, and everyone's going to come into pit road. So he may have pulled off a masterstroke here to get this car to the end of the race for solid race points, Jack. And ultimately he gave up stage points for what could be a great choice in terms of strategy, and one that looked to be one that almost ended his race. He was really playing the gambit there of race could end, but this could also win me the race ultimately towards the end.
Yeah, and it's a what could have been if his car literally made it maybe another half a lap without running out of fuel. Would he have still pushed it to get another couple points in the stage, or do you
he
think
would have come in? He would have come in, but he would have been able to go full. Out. Yeah, he would have gone full bore into pit lane, but he would have crossed the line in pit lane inside the top 10. So that would have been the thought process and the push. And for Rinker, he now doesn't have to pit. Really, I mean, he's going to save a lap of fuel under this caution anyway, but he doesn't need to pit now. Everyone else will come in, and he's going to go straight to the front of the order because, of course, they have to wait a lap behind the pace car to come into pit road before it opens. Rinker's going to be right on their tail. He's going to take the race lead on tyres that realistically are not even maybe a lap older than the whole field because of the lack of tyre wear under a pace car as everyone comes into pit road.
Yeah, and you got to wonder. Well, everyone should take tyres, I'm assuming now. You'd be kind of silly not to. Those guys who saved the tyres early on and didn't take.
Oh, Kevin, what are you doing? You don't need to come in.
Maybe he's just going to go a little splash and dash, and then he'll be on the same amount of fuel as everyone else.
But he doesn't
And then,
need to. He could have just stayed out. Because he... Oh, Kevin, you didn't need to come in. Oh, no.
He's still going to beat everyone out if he doesn't.
He won't beat everyone, but he'll beat a vast majority of them. It was 5 seconds worth of fuel. So he'll beat the vast majority, but he would have been right at the front of the field.
Maybe he didn't take all the fuel to make sure he came out on the lead lap.
But he took 4 tyres, though. It would have been covered by if he would have covered the fuel.
No.
No?
The tyres get changed before the fuel's finished.
Oh.
It's very tight, but he might not have filled it up all the way.
Oh, he had a black for entering closed pits.
Is that now, or is that...
Oh, he's into the chat. It's KW42, which I assume is Kevin, because he runs 42. Apparently he had a black for entering a closed pit lane, although he would have entered the lane before the stage end, so it shouldn't have been closed.
Or it might have just called as he went in.
I don't... Oh, he's got an
Which
EOL.
is very unlucky.
He's got an EOL, so I suppose he knew he had an EOL, so he had to come in.
Yeah, if he had an EOL, then you may as well take the fuel.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So it should have been closed when he came in. So, okay, so he's got an EOL, so yeah, at that point then, yeah, you might as well come in and take the fuel. Fair enough. You get the free stop, you're going to be at the back of the field anyway, you might as well get a fuel advantage over everyone else. Ah, yep, I got ya. Yeah, it was closed 2 laps before the stage end, so he'll come into pit road now. Yeah, I got ya. Yeah, it's closed a lap before, okay. Yeah, well, we've never experienced that, Jack, where someone's come in right before the stage end. So that's a new one for me. I'll be honest with you, that's a new one for me, because I've never had anyone have to come in right before the stage end. They often either pit well before or they go to the end of the stage, so we learn something new every day. And in fact, Kevin's come back in and he's taken a bit more fuel again, Jack. So he's playing the fuel game here of come in, put a little bit in, get to the back of the train and push on.
Yeah, if you're starting at the end of the line, you may as well
Yeah.
see if you can get a little advantage of coming back in and taking a bit more. Have an extra lap on the rest of the field.
I mean, you may as well do it. You're going to get a free bit of fuel on board your car. We appreciate the information going to the chat as well. We appreciate that, guys. That does help, and it does explain things if we do say something that doesn't quite make sense or you know, it's flat out wrong ultimately, and so that helps correct us, but also helps implement it in future of, well, they can't pit 2 laps before the stage end because pit lane's closed. So that's fantastic. So thank you all very much. Really, really appreciate it. Austin Cole, Justin McCurdy, front row here for this restart into the second stage of the race. Brannon, McKellar, Brannon and Pruitt in behind. Then it's McKellar and Martin, Harris, Rinker, Stevens, Vaughan, Smathers and James. Future teammates for next season, not teammates right now, of course. Stamper, Mercero, Hatch, Winker, Dyson, Kern, Marotta and Magnus Anderson looks to be out of this race. We've got 19 cars left for stage 2. Pace truck into pit road. As we prep ourselves to the restart zone we go. Green flag, stage 2, 29 to go. At Pocono in the Brutus 150 here this evening. Entering up towards turn 1, Cole with a great start. McCurdy and Brannon side by side. Pushing on now for what is bound to be one more stop to the end of this race. But if you're Kevin Winker and you've come in 3 times under the caution, is there a world, Jack, that Winker can make it to the end since he made it 28 laps last time by? And if it goes overtime, could have put a nail in the coffin in his race.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, we didn't think that he would be able to make it as far as he could, and he's proved everyone wrong, really. And yeah, if it's 33 laps.
Oh, Trey Martin, Charles Rinker. Trey getting knocked off the wall, and Smathers right into the back of him. First caution of the race. And again, simple
He's
mistake.
collected so many cars.
Yeah, simple mistake, simple. And remember we mentioned it would come down to driver error here tonight that would cause a caution. And that's exactly what's happened down here at turn 3. So we'll watch this back. So Trey's a little bit wide. He comes round. He's just going to bump the wall with that door. There you see it. And it's just going to ricochet straight into the side of Charles Rinker. CJ then running low. Martin trying to get this thing hooked up. Oh, and ultimately, it is just a messy moment, and Zach Smathers nowhere to go at that point in time.
Arguably, when he, it looks like there's no holding the brakes there.
Yeah, no. There was, there's no brake holding at all, so he shouldn't have just kept the foot into it. He should have ultimately just put the brakes on, and if anyone was going to hit him, they were going to hit him. But
like as soon as that car was going to shoot to the right, slam the brakes on. Don't just fly into the pack going through. That's unfortunate to see all those cars torn up.
Yep, indeed, including Austin Stamper. I mean, that 1998 Kellogg's livery. The only reason I know this is from 1998 is I own the complete set of Hot Wheels 1998 NASCAR cars sealed in their box. And this is one of the cars I've got, Jack. Dad bought them for me. He bought them for me to give to me on my 21st birthday.
Well, I doubt you would buy them because you were literally born that year.
Well, that's true.
Oh,
they've called it. Race Control have called it a racing incident. Although Martin has spun round a pit entry.
It almost looks like Martin went to go slam the brakes on. Then, if you're able to get a replay of it, and Stamper went right up his bum.
Well, he's looked to come into pit road. So they both wanted to come in. He's had to slow it up here to get in. Oh, and Stamper just wasn't prepared for the slow up of Martin's car.
A very early slamming of the brakes.
Well, I find it interesting that they've called it a racing incident when we've noticed that he hasn't held brakes at all, and that's what's worse than the incident, ultimately. The bouncing off the wall, was obviously a racing incident. That was a racing incident. So unless they call the second half of the incident separately, because really the first part of it is driver error, the second part of it was just...
Well, everyone's late going into the lane.
You know what? I think if you're Austin Cole and Co, you're in. It's a free stop. We know that
Winker looks like he stayed out.
Yeah, and because we know that Winker made 28 laps last time in the first stage. He knows he can make it that long. He's going to take this caution and take the fuel save, and he's going to push this car on forward once again. So those guys are wanting to not have to fuel save and push to the end. They could make it from here. And for the likes of Pruitt, McKellar, Harris, Vaughan, Stevens, Winker, Mercer, Dyson, they're all going to stay there. Trey Martin's in pit lane, by the way. I think his race might be over with that meatball flag. He's not looking to re-enter the road, unfortunately, there for Trey Martin. But a race to forget off that moment there for him. But regardless, we prepare ourselves, we re-rack them, we re-stack them, and we get ready to go once again for the Brutus 150 here tonight at Pocono International Raceway. Next time out, Talladega. It is the Bailey's Bucket 150 coming your way from good old Talladega. And we look forward to racing out there once again. This race was originally going to be the Bailey's Bucket 150. We then moved it to next week at Talladega. And so that's what it will become. Now
the question is,
that logo to be Talladega and not Pocono.
Is Bailey using his chair tonight?
Well,
he using the bucket?
We did mention that we felt that he needs to start using the bucket again because that's where all of his pace came from. I think next week at Dega for the Bailey's Bucket 150, he has to use it. He has to use the bucket for old time's sake. And if he wins that race,
too enthused about using it again.
No, because I think he's realised how comfortable.
The luxury of a chair.
Well, how comfortable the chair is. It's completely changed. You know what? I think Bailey's gone soft. I think he's gone soft from how comfortable that chair is, Jack.
He's getting old, Hamish.
Yeah, exactly. Ah, yeah. He's a crisp 24 years old.
As Bailey's back in again.
This is fuel.
You got to wonder. Is he taking the extra fuel for maybe an overtime situation, or is he going to try and
I think
the strategy and take tyres?
What the hell? Zach Smathers has pulled over to the side of the road here. What has happened to Smathers? Why has he pulled over?
He was given an end of line, I think. So I think he's asked for a EOL.
Okay.
And he's just waiting for everyone to go by.
I was going to say,
maybe
he doesn't need one. I mean, he didn't do anything to get an EOL.
No, I think he just might wanted to start at the back of the queue.
Okay.
I have noticed that there's quite a few people that do it.
Well, Rhiannon has said in the chat, if he doesn't use the bucket, disqualify him.
I reckon.
I think so. I agree.
I agree.
Yep.
That's a good point.
Yep. Yep. And you know what? We need a bucket cam to make sure that he is running the bucket next week. I think it's only right. You know, we're going plate racing.
Get the video ninja up.
Yeah, we're going plate racing at Dega. Bailey has to go bucket racing whilst we go plate racing. That's going to be the key factor for next week. Right. Pruitt and McKellar, front row. We know the sort of pace that McKellar's had tonight. He's looking to try and fuel save this car to the very end of this race. Keith Vaughan, Paul Harris, Rinker, Stevens, Mercero, Dyson, all trying to do the same. Cole McCurdy, James, Kern, Hatch, Rinker, Marotta, Stamper, Brannan, and Smathers have all come in under this caution in the hopes that that is enough fuel to get them home and they don't need the fuel save to the very end. We know that Kevin Rinker went 28 laps on his first stint, so the fuel save game is there as lap 37 will get underway and end to get us to lap 38, 23 to go in the Brutus 150 here at Pocono. As Pruitt leads him down towards one. Oh my God, he has gone for an aggressive move on Harris here as Kevin Rinker. But they're all pushing hard for position. And again, the game of fuel save and the game of long runs as Dyson's into the wall with McCurdy. Joe Dyson into the wall with McCurdy. And the 71 is hooked up and facing the wrong way. Let's try and see what's happening to Dyson. So McCurdy's trying to go for his outside. Dyson then moves up high, gets hooked.
Spotter said he was clear, man.
He did. He did. His spotter, I think, has told him that he's clear.
It's like, hey, man.
Hey, man. Let's try and get a better view of this. We'll head out to our chopper cam. This will give us a good view of it. So McCurdy...
It's so easy to do.
Yeah, McCurdy, every right here to go to that outside. He's alongside him as well. So he's got the rights to the road. But Dyson moves up, gets spooked by the 18, into the 4, and ultimately into the wall.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. You see see Cole move up from the bottom. Maybe Dyson thought he was going to go up too much and decided to give him the space and then didn't realise that he had a car on the outside. Well, it's very easy to do.
Yep, he's now been given an EOL for that move as well, for turning up high into the 4. And again, yeah, I literally think it was just the comfortable, or the comfort factor within the traffic for Dyson. And he's just been spooked by that 18. He's tried to give him space, and as you said, just didn't realise the 4 was there. So, again, it's a learning factor. That comes of learning, being in the mid-pack and amongst the train as well. And for Joe, he'll now be at the back of the field once again with 2 cars out of this race, with Magnus Anderson and Trey Martin in pit road. Joe goes to P18 with McCurdy just ahead of him. Smathers, Stamper, Brannan, Rinker, Kern, Marotta. And our top 10 at this stage, from bottom to top, is Hatch to James to Cole to Mercero to Stevens to Winker to Harris to Vaughan to McKellar to Cody Pruitt at the front end of town in the 16. Hooters entry here. We know how fast that 92 Mustang has been for McKellar this evening. Pruitt's done well, though, to hang up there at this point in time. I'm interested to see where certain drivers will end up at the end of this one. And one driver that I'm actually interested in seeing how well they do is Jesse James. He could be an effective P2 now, as Pruitt, McKellar, Harris, and everyone else they're going to come into pit lane, and Vaughan and Winker are staying out. Kern's decided to stay out as well, so I think they know they need a bit of extra fuel here, Jack, and they're wanting to set the free pit stop just to make sure they can make race end.
Yeah, exactly. That was a very late call from Kern to continue. I thought for sure he was going into the lane. That was like one of the best fakes I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it was a great effort and a great job from him to maybe catch a couple of drivers out. So all those drivers at the back, and I suppose if you're at the back end, you got nothing to lose. You might as well come in, take some fuel. Maybe you take some tyres. I don't know, but Mercer and Dyson, they're going to take tyres in the stop. Everyone else is just taking a fuel stop here. Stamper has been in pit lane. Previously, had to fix up some damage. 20 seconds was the stop time last time by lap 34 for him. But those top two are Vaughn and Rinker. They're trying to take the fuel save to the end. But they've got a very fast and very aggressive Austin Cole on their tail. I don't know if they can hold him off trying to fuel save these cars, Jack. They're not going to be able to run at full pace.
Oh, just full send it. See what happens. Lick the stamp. Send it.
Yeah, have a send. See what happens. I suppose if we get more cautions, they'll be guaranteed to get home. They won't need a fuel save if we get enough cautions here. So once again, it's a race of two halves. The first stage, very clean, very tidy, and fantastic for them as well. And for everyone else out there, it's push on to the end. So we'll see if the fuel save's going to work.
Did the rest of the field take tyres?
So only a few cars have taken tyres. So Rinker took right sides. I believe that Stamper took tyres on lap 34, but lap 39, Mercer and Dyson took a full set of tyres. Vaughn, previously on lap 30, took a full set of tyres. Of course, Rinker took some on the stage break stop as well. So both of these guys are on same level of tyres as everyone else, except for those three drivers that I mentioned, with Rinker on right sides and the bottom two drivers are Mercer and Dyson on a fresh full set. But I don't know if they have the pace to match it. Although Mercer started on the front row of the grid, he could have the pace to get back up there again, but only time will tell as we get ready to go green on the end of this lap.
Got to wait for the tiramisu to cook, mate.
Does tiramisu cook, or is it just like a flan where you just put it all together and then put it in the fridge and let it set?
Does it not count as cooking if you're just putting stuff together?
I don't think so. I think it counts as baking, but I don't know if it does count as cooking. I think you're putting things together, aren't you? But I'm saying that, do you cook a salad when you put a salad together?
Yeah, sure. You're cooking. It's a no-bake dessert that requires chilling.
There we go. I thought so. So it's like it's similar to like a flan or even a no-bake cheesecake, I suppose. Put it all together and let it set. Hey.
Chocolate mousse.
Yeah. Although some chocolate mousse you do need to maybe make a chocolate ganache for, but apart from that, that's about it. Alright, pace truck will come in. Green flag will look to drop once again. Keith Vaughn, Kevin Rinker on the front row. Cole and James in behind them. Green flag once again. How hard is Cole going to push, knowing that these guys have stayed out with 19 laps to go? Do they need to push the cars, or do they need a fuel save to the end, as Cole's got a good run on the inside of Rinker here? Vaughn will open up the door. Watch for Cole to sneak on by and try and take back the race lead of this one. For the number 18 entry, James in behind as well, with Hatch and Rinker. And Harris too. Cole with an aggressive block on James to hold him off here, as Rinker looks to go down the inside of Keith Vaughn into turn 2. And he'll take the race lead for now, but it is tightly contested. Staggered 3 wide, sub him behind as they bang doors with Hatch, Harris and James, all for P4 on the road.
Yeah, it's all turned up to 11 now. They're all side by side, banging doors, as you said. Oh, there's another door. They've just banged each other there. But yeah, it's turned up another notch. As he's gone to make it, Kern's gone to make it 4 wide down the main straight, going into turn 1.
4 wide into turn 1. 3 wide for the front 3 as well. Oh my lord.
I think Paul was very smart in that and backing out.
He was very smart in backing out. And of course, interestingly enough, those three guys, or three of those guys in that battle, James, Kernan, and Harris, they'll be teammates next season. So they've got to get all their little biffs out now and maybe even think about, oh, how can we work together next season? What can we do to improve ourselves?
Well, they might not be if it continues like this.
Well, they might not be. Who knows? But Kern is pushing hard here early. Look at Rinker as well. It's so tight through here. They're staggered 4 wide on the exit. As Kern nearly bangs doors with Rinker, it's still staggered 4 wide. Down towards turn 1. And they're nearly hooked up here. This is going to end up in a caution if they're not careful. 17 to go. Oh, the margin for error is so tiny. They've got to keep themselves in check as Winker is now into the race lead. Calder, Vaughan to James. McCurdy and Pruitt in behind them as well. And they are really putting it on the edge of the limits here tonight at Pocono.
Just seems like they were magnetised to each other. They just kept on bumping down the straight even. But I think it was very smart of Charles as well to maybe back out of that and not make it 4 wide down the straight, considering how much they were bumping. And he's lived to fight another day. And as we see Winker in the wall there, he's hopefully not damaged himself too much and he continues on.
Well, he is pushing at the front end. Here comes Austin Cole down the inside to take advantage of the wall rub of Kevin Winker. And if Cole takes the race lead, is that going to be it? Is that going to be over and done with? Will anyone be able to challenge him? James now up to P3, battling with McCurdy side by side, as well as Ryan Hatch as well. This race has turned it up a notch. It's put the levels up to 11. And the pressure has started to build here as James on the inside of Ryan Hatch tucks it back into P5 for right now, but you've got to try and maintain as there's a caution on the road. And it's Zach Smathers and Bailey Brannon who have made contact on the backstretch. What has happened back here between them? So Brannon gets a knock from, I think that was Damon Marotta. Marotta makes a knock into him, and then so Smathers gets it. All right, so let's look back at this again. Okay,
that was a huge net code, too.
That was big. So a little bit of a knock into Brannon, and then into the front of Smathers, nowhere to go. And Marotta may get pinged for that. Oh, that was a huge net code on the secondary contact. My God.
Bailey must have been talking smack about Elon again.
No, he gave his Starlink box a little belly rub, and it didn't help him. So Winker remains at the front end of town, 4th caution of this race. And really, I feel like it's almost guaranteed now he can get home on fuel.
Oh, you would assume, though.
You would assume so.
Can get home. You got to wonder, though, are people going to come in and just take that last set of tyres?
Well,
or even just another set of tyres.
Well, we've got, what would it be? It would be maybe 12 laps to go when we're green again. A fresh set for 12 laps, that could be a big gameplay, especially if drivers have saved tyres as well. McCurdy on his previous stop took a 7-second stop, so it's not quite long enough for right sides. Do we think it's worth taking 4 here, Jack, or do you think they can get away with just the right side tyres on this stop if they do come in?
I think since it's under caution, you may as well just take 4. Because you're not going to lose out on that much compared to a green run. You may get put further down the field, but if you've got 4 tyres over the rest of the field that have worn tyres, you'll be able to make up that deficit. As it looks like Cole's coming in. Everyone's coming.
Winker realises that he was going to get left out there on his own, so he's decided to pop in. Cole has absolutely faked him. He has absolutely plumbed him there. McCurdy
that may work, though.
That may work. It may work for Winker because the top 7 now are still on track, although Dyson and Mercer have stayed and gotten to the front end of town. This may work for Winker. It may work because he doesn't need to fuel save now, and he's able to take a full set of tyres. He drops on the box, exits pit lane. Vaughan has not taken tyres. This could be an absolute nail in the coffin for him because he's going to be on old tyres now. Rinker's taken right sides. Winker with that 4th set of tyres is coming ahead of Brannon. And he's going to come out in P10. But he's got the freshest full set of everyone on the road. He's got fuel to the end, doesn't need a fuel save, can push on now, and has a full set under him as well. This car's going to be quick off this restart. We've got a message here from Race Troll as well. 72 into the wall, bounced into the 19's nose. It's a racing incident they've called it as because of the fact that the 72 bounced off the wall. So no penalty. The 72 car smatters into pit lane at this stage as well. That might be race over for him possibly after he already used his fast repair earlier on. And for Austin Cole, he wants another race win this season. He wants to extend his championship lead, especially whilst Mike Rinker is away. And again, the provisional for last place points means that for Cole, he can push on, he can garner some more points, and he can get this thing into an extended championship lead. And ultimately, Jack, if he wins next week at Talladega, based on the points differential right now, he'll be crowned the champion at the end of Talladega. He wouldn't have to run at Iowa or Charlotte. He would already win because of the points difference that he would have. So for Cole, he knows that tonight and next week are super crucial to this championship to wrap it up nice and quickly. And if it does wrap it up early, that is going to be such a sigh of relief for him. And it might mean that the final 2 rounds will become exhibition races, and it means we can just show off this great league for what it is and have some great racing at Iowa and Charlotte with no championship implications in terms of the championship victory itself if Cole does wrap it up early.
Surely if Cole wins it with a couple rounds to go, he has to come back in like an all chrome gold livery.
Or maybe like a peanut M&M car, but have gold instead of the yellow.
Yeah. Something like that.
I think so. Or maybe make his number chrome gold or something. Could be the way to go for Austin Cole. Of course, he will drop the 18 next season. It will remain on a Toyota, though. The 18 will remain a Toyota number, but it will be moving to Infinity Motorsports Jesse James for next season. There are some big number changes coming. Brannon, of course, moving back to the 6. James moving to the 18. Smathers moving to the 81. Harris remaining with the 13. Kern remaining with the 31. Cole in his limited schedule next season, as he is getting limited to running next season because of his I rating, he moves to number 11 for next season as long as no one else takes it. So a couple of number changes, a couple of team changes as well. It's all getting shaken up into next season. But as the pace truck comes into pit road, we've still got a bit more of this race to run, plus 3 rounds to end out season 1 of High Side Motorsports. 12 to go in the Brutus 150 at Pocono Raceway. You can see as well that Hatch and James side by side into turn 1 with Harrison behind them as well. Battling for solid position here. There's a little bit of a knock there to James. Gets him a little bit loose as Hatch tucks in behind him. Harris now wants a run at him towards turn 2. Cole and McCurdy. McCurdy's been so impressive tonight, as is Cole as always. Do they have the tyres under them and the fuel to get to the end though? Brannon's making moves here after coming into pit road last time by. So is Charles Rinker. Both of them moving forward. Kevin Wink is being held out to dry here further back amongst this intensifying battle pack as they're 3 wide down the main stretch.
Yeah, Winker's now pushing. He's pushing Vaughan through to try and help himself get back through the fields. There's contact back there with the 67. And again.
Yeah, that 6-7 car is really getting knocked about. The Miller Lite entry of Rob Stevens Jr.
Deserved though for having that.
Well, had some great runs early season, but the last half of the season he's not been nearly at his best performances, it must be said. But he's in a tight battle pack at this stage. Charles Rinker fighting his way forward. He's now up to P5 on that fresh set of right sides. He's got the tyre advantage, and he's got a pace advantage as well. He could win this race just yet with 10 to go here at Pocono as they cross the line to start lap 51. Could be a masterstroke here for Rinker with this pace discrepancy now, thanks to the fresh set of right side tyres here, Jack. Has Cole made the wrong call by not coming into pit road underneath that caution?
Oh, it's hard to tell really, because while he may have the pace advantage now, he has to get past another 4 cars essentially to get into the lead, and they don't look like they're going to give up the spots very easily. I think Jesse might have to give up this spot, but yeah, the top 3 don't really like to relinquish their position very easily, so we'll see whether they put up a fight. And Paul has got a lot of pace as well, even with the old tyres.
He does. Paul being very impressive here tonight. He's up 8 positions into the top 10. Ryan Hatch is up 9 into P3 at this stage of the race as Rinker looks for a little dive down the inside.
A little dive?
Oh my God, that's a massive dive. He's on the inside of the race leader as McCurdy's run it wide. Rinker
would have won the gold medal at the Olympics. That was how good that was.
That was a fantastic dive there. Hatch slowed up his inside once again. Trying to sneak back onto the podium, gives him a door. Oh, and Rinker into the wall. Oh, Hatch will get a massive slap on the wrist for that one from race control, it's to be sure. Rinker's now out of this race. That's cost him possibly a race win off the door from the O2 car.
That was a very big twitch to try and catch that as well.
It was.
Like a overcorrection that then ripped up and sent Charles into the walls. Fortunately, we are still green though, because he's been able to continue on. Paul looks like he's making a move on Jesse too.
Yeah, well, he's trying to push him along here. Paul's looking really racy tonight, it must be said. He's driving very, very well. Very impressed by Paul's acumen here tonight. He's got his current team boss in behind him in Bailey Brannon, and his future teammate in James ahead of him, which he nearly runs into. And he now has to run it wide. I think there might have been a little knock there off Brannon that just got Harris a little bit unsettled. Brannon was not happy. Paul was supposed to tell him that he was leaving the team. Apparently he told Bailey in a voice chat, but Bailey forgot. And Bailey was not happy about it when he found out that Paul was leaving when the team was registered.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. You listen to half of the stuff that's said in the voice chats, and I wouldn't put it past Bailey for not registering it, because there is a lot of nonsense that is said in chats.
There is indeed. As Cole tries to cover that inside now from Hatch, covers the outside, an aggressive move on McCurdy. As the Pepsi entry looks to run down the inside of the 18. To the race lead goes the 4 Chevrolet of Justin McCurdy, who's had a fantastic running tonight. Been very impressive now with 7 laps to go. Ryan Hatch on the inside of Cole as well. Trying to push him forward here. Get the O2 car on the top 2 steps of the podium. Watch for Brannon on the fresh set of tyres as well, though. Actually, in saying that, Brannon didn't take tyres. He only took fuel. So all of these guys are on the same level of tyre wear at the front end of town. Top position car that took tyres is Will Kern back in P7. And with 6 laps to go, it's massive pressure now for the race winner at Pocono. And the Brutus 150. As Cole covers Brannon on the inside, McCurdy runs the outside line onto the backstretch. And this pack is getting intense for position. And you have a feeling, Jack, there's a little aura that if something happens in any way possible, this thing could go overtime.
Oh, 100%. I reckon if McCurdy wins, we got to call him Jeff McCurdy. Because of that.
For that Jeff Gordon pay.
Yes.
We do.
Paul's having a go at him. He's going for the lead with a dive.
Yeah.
Looks like Hat's trying to follow him as well. We might have just put the knocker on him.
Yeah, Austin
Bailey
Bush.
looks to make it 3 wide.
Austin Bush here trying to win this race once again in the 18 Camry. And McCurdy hot on his heels. Watch Brannon though, he's got good pace here tonight, but Hatch is aggressive out there with Harris and Kern and James. Watch Will Kern, by the way. Fresh tyres on board that car. He had pace last week, And he looks to have pace once again this week as well. So he's trying to
McKellar
push this
around the
car.
outside.
Oh, my God. McKellar as Harris and James come together on the backstretch. There's the caution. It's going to go overtime as McCurdy is dropping back as well. Oh, and you had a feeling that it was coming. You had a feeling from the pressure of the road that contact was going to be made at some point. And this time it's Harris and James squeeze 3 wide and spun round on the backstretch. And Rinker has got a meatball flag. The 42 car is going to have to come into pit lane here, Jack. We'll see if anyone else comes in. Maybe for a late break pit stop here to take a fresh set of tyres since this thing's going overtime.
It might actually just go... Oh, it might go green with 1 to go. Because there's 4 laps remaining.
Yeah, we might get a green-white checkered to the end. It will be a green-white checkered attempt, but will it be an overtime attempt? That's the question.
If we get another caution, I think it will be.
Well, we're lap 57. So by the time we run through pit lane, we'll get out to roughly lap 59. So it might be green-white checkered 1 lap extension.
Yeah,
possibly.
they might try it.
I think we might go
Because I haven't
61.
heard anything about overtime yet. Over the radio.
Well, we'll see if their math checks out. It is lap 57 at this point of the race. So whether it will actually show that, or for overtime for us, if we will actually get overtime, that's yet to be questioned. You can't break the macho ham. I'm not even sure who he's referencing, if he's referencing me or he's referencing someone else.
Macho man.
The macho ham.
Got you for 3 minutes.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3
laps
minutes.
of overtime.
Yeah, 3 laps of overtime. Oh, I remember that was one of our original jokes with the Macho Man.
Yeah.
What a callback. What a callback to the first day that we realised that myself and Zach Smathers can do wrestling impersonations. I got you for 3 laps. 3 laps of overtime. As Will Kern trying to bait pit lane.
I think he almost got baited out by Cole, because Cole also faked, hasn't he?
Yeah.
We've got a lot of cars still coming in.
Yeah,
oh, actually, no, not a lot.
Well, Rinker has to come in because of his meatball. Vaughan's in, Harris is in, James and Smathers are in as well. Smathers been in there 47 minutes. He's just been trying to get some damage limitation there, trying to get it fixed
That's
up.
a little second hand.
It's a bit second hand. Here's Zach Smathers' car at this stage of the race. We had a call in from race control. They've not given a penalty because they're unsure on that incident between the 28 and the 13. I mean, in my mind, it looked like a bit of a racing incident, Jack. They kind of came into each other.
Yeah, to me, it was more Paul because he came up over the white line into the lane that Jesse was in. But at the same time, they were all kind of moving up at the same time, so it is more of a racing incident. But if it had to be put on anyone, I would probably say that Paul was more at fault.
So I think we are going to go overtime here, Jack, because we're about to start lap 59, where we'll go 2 wide. Lap 60 is going to be the restart lap. So we are going to go 60, and then 61 will be the white flag. So it is going to be one. It's going to be 1 lap of overtime. Yeah, it's going to be 1 lap of overtime, based on the lap numbers at this stage. And I'm going to pressure you here for a quick pick on who's going to win this race. Knowing the top 4 on older tyres, Kern has got the freshest tyres back in P5, but Cole, McCurdy, Hatch, and Brannon have all had strong pace tonight. Hatch, though, has been very aggressive in P3.
Obviously, Magnus is going to win it.
Of course.
No, I reckon if I want to give the commentator's curse to someone, I reckon Bailey's going to win it, get his first win of the season finally. But
well, he hasn't had one yet.
But I think that Cole has Cole's had the pace overall, and he's been able to be defensive as well. So I think he might be able to hold on to it if it's just 1 or 2 laps.
Well, it should be only 1 or 2 laps, because we're now lap 59, getting ready for our restart onto lap 60. First green-white checkered attempt. If we get a caution on lap 60, we'll re-rack him again, and we'll go again for another green-white checkered attempt in this race. We get 3 attempts at it. If we can't do it in 3, the race will end under caution. So for Austin Cole, Justin McCurdy, front row, they've been up there for the majority of this race. Both of them have got great pace as well. McCurdy's going to try and call the run at the right time if he wants to snatch this race win. But then there's Ryan Hatch as well. He's been very aggressive and knows the sort of position that he needs to be in here to win this race. Bailey Brannan as well. Still hungry for that first race win this season. Kern has gotten a win thus far. McKellar's got good pace tonight as well. It's all on for the top 6. And it's all on for the race win here at Pocono tonight for the Brutus 150. The pace truck will come into pit road. We will start lap 60 of this race. And we will go 1 lap overtime to lap 61. Past 150 miles. As we traverse around turn 3. Pressure's building. Electricity is sparking off the road for them. Pace truck in. Austin Cole. Race lead. Green flag at Pocono. And Hatch is pushed off well off the line. He looks to get the inside run on McCurdy here to sneak up to P2. Cole runs it to the outside. Hatch inside line of McCurdy. Wants to run it into P2, but watch for Will Kern on the late run. Hatch covers late. Gets it onto the inside line. Brannan's got a good run here as well. But if they start to battle, Austin Cole's going to run away with it. They've got to try and push on here, or they've got to hope for a late caution on this lap. Brannan, though, into P3. Looks to go for P2 now. On to Justin McCurdy, he runs. It's going to be white flag. It's going to be 1 to go when we get up to the line. Unless a yellow flag is thrown in the next few seconds here at Pocono. With Brannan pushing hard for a podium finish, maybe even a race win. He'll take P2 from McCurdy, and it's an all Toyota top 2 with 1 to go at Pocono.
Oh, the white flag's out, and Winker and Marauder.
Yep, they've crashed at the wrong time. It's not going to go another lap. We're going to get this one done and dusted on this lap here. McCurdy's run to the outside. Cole coming the inside line. Hatch makes contact with McCurdy over Brannan. And they're off the road into Marauder. Oh my God, a massive crash. Absolutely huge. A massive wreck back there. But with Austin Cole into the race lead, it's allowed Kern to get up on the podium with Brannan. And it's an all-Toyota podium here at Pocono. And a massive wreck on the final lap of this race. Robert Stevens Jr. and Cody Pruitt. Their race has been ruined here tonight. But for Austin Cole, he'll extend the championship lead. He'll come across the line. Race win in Pocono. With Will Kern and Brannan making it an all-Toyota lineup. On the top 3 to McKellar and Vaughan for the top 5. Pruitt, Harris, James, Mercer, Owen, Smathers sneaks that wrecked car into the top 10 in memory of Brutus. What a comeback there for Smathers in that race. A great effort tonight. But for Austin Cole, it must be said, controlled it off the restart, Jack. And ultimately, they couldn't challenge him because they were too busy battling amongst themselves.
Yeah, exactly. That was got to say, brilliant effort from Zach to put that in the top 10. But yeah, it was a great finish. Unfortunately, there was contact with Brannan and a couple of the boys back there. I think he kind of made it. He went for the gap and then it closed. He didn't see that Hatch was coming across as well. So it was a bit of a racing incident. It could have been avoided, but that's just racing, to be honest. It was a great hard racing from everyone tonight, and they all should be proud. It was clean for the most part too. So
that was a massive wreck for Robert Stevens Jr. That's right on board with him as this happened. full speed for you.
He just got nowhere to go and then just gets absolutely put in the tumble dryer.
Completely launched for Robert Stevens Jr. And he keeps it going off the back of that one. We've already got one of our podium finishers waiting for us here. Another one's in there as well. Let's have a quick look at the race results, though, and quickly run you through them before we do chat to our podium finishers. Austin Cole wins it ahead of Will Kern and Bailey Brannon, with Will McKellar, Keith Vaughan, Cody Pruitt, Paul Harris, Jesse James, Nick Mercero, and Zach Smathers making up the top 10 to Austin Stamper, Joe Dyson, Kevin Winker, Damon Marotta, Ryan Hatch, Justin McCurdy, Robert Stevens Jr., Charles Rinker makes up the top 18 to Trey Martin and Magnus Anderson at the back end of the field as a non-finisher here this evening. We'll first chat to our third place finisher here this evening in Mr. Bailey Brannon as we drag him now for a quick chat. Bailey, a podium for you here tonight. Do you have a feeling that there may be a penalty coming your way off that late race incident with McCurdy and Hatch? Because that was a huge one. I don't know if you saw it in your mirrors, but Robert Stevens Jr. went absolutely tumble drying down the back stretch with a massive rollover off the back of that one.
I haven't had a chance to see the replay yet, but as of coming my way, I don't think so. From my point of view, I was there, and I got drove into from the inside, and it pushed me into McCurdy there. But no, I don't think so.
Well, you've driven spectacularly here tonight, Bailey. Not quite at the race win just yet, of course, but on the podium here this evening. Obviously, next week is the Bailey's Bucket 150 at Talladega. I think we have to make an agreement here, Bailey. You're going to be racing on the bucket next week, aren't you?
We'll see. We'll see how my back's feeling next Sunday, because if my back's hurting, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. But yeah, no, I felt like I had a decent race tonight. I mean, I was able to get up front, lead some laps. I felt like I had race-winning pace at the end there. I just couldn't get there. Me, Ryan, and Justin were just racing really hard. And that's, from my point of view, that's how that happened, where we were just all racing for the podium there. And more so the win. But, all around, great effort. Third place in the stage, third place overall. I had a co-pilot with me tonight, and I'm glad that I was able to take Brutus to the podium tonight. So,
well, we wrong time for a cough. Well, we appreciate you coming to chat to us, Bailey. Congratulations on the win. Best of luck next week out at Talladega. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Well, first off, I want to give a shout out to Zach. I know he just had to go through. He had to make a pretty tough decision recently. Just shout out to him and his family as they're going through this time. Shout out to my teammates. They were good throughout the entirety of the race. I think Joe had a pretty good finish. So shout out to him. Paul did really good. Yeah, Joe finished 12th tonight, so shout out Joe. And yeah, we'll see if we can go get it next week.
Well, time will tell, Bailey. Best of luck at Talladega next time out. Appreciate your time once again. Congratulations on the P3.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Next up, we have got P2 on the road here this evening in Will Kern to continue the All Toyota top three. Will, congratulations. P2 on the road. Yeah, maybe if it went overtime a little bit extra there, maybe another late break caution, could have found you battling call for the race win, but a P2 is still a solid way to finish out, up 2 spots in this one. How was that for you tonight, sir?
Considering how much bad luck I had tonight and how many times I hit that wall coming out of the final turn, I'll take a second for sure. They don't call this track the Tricky Triangle for nothing, man.
They don't. I mean, it's incredibly difficult. Obviously, driver skill heavy is this place, but obviously first half of the race very clean, no cautions to speak of. Second half of the race was a whole other story though. Really impactful, really chaotic. A lot of scrambling for position. How was it just withstanding the pressure of cars all around you and just trying to avoid some of those incidents out there?
It was insane, man. I mean, I want to say at one point tonight we were 5 wide, especially coming into turn one. And Turn 1 is easy to go 4 or 5 wide. The tunnel turn, you can make it 3 wide, which I think we did at least once tonight, but it's really not good to do it. And then the final turn, same thing. You can easily go 3, 4 wide, but we had so much cluster racing tonight that, you know, this could have been anybody's race. I mean, it's not a super speedway, but it's just when we got caution and clustered up like that, you couldn't make a pass like at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's almost you have to almost hope that someone in front of you gets a poor run out of one of the corners just to give you an opportunity at it. And it wasn't quite coming for a lot of drivers tonight, and a lot of drivers getting overrun with each other too and overlapped, and then incidents happening as well. So that was a big difficulty of it. Talladega next week, obviously plate racing again, high intensity, high pressure, being amongst a fast-paced pack of cars. There's only one way next week's going to go, and it's going to be we're going to get a big one at some point. How much, though, do you think you can, or what can you do next week to maybe avoid being within that situation and just focusing to get to the race end next week nice and tidy?
Pray to the racing gods, I guess. That's about all you can do, man.
Yeah.
Super speedway racing, I'm great at it. Like, I'm really good at it, but I have the worst luck at super speedways. Everybody jokes about it whenever they race with me because I can, you know, lead quite a bit and win stages and everything, but as far as winning the race itself, it barely ever comes out for me. But good group of guys here. I feel like we're gonna have some good clean racing next week at Dega, and I guess we'll see what happens.
We will indeed. Well, Will, we appreciate you coming and have a chat to us this evening. Congratulations on your P2. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, always with you up in the booth, man. Appreciate the broadcast, and I always go back and watch it, and always got to thank the wife too, man. Love the wife, love the kids. So on to next week.
Very good. Thanks so much, Will. Congratulations on the P2 this evening. Will Kern, P2 on the road here at Pocono here tonight, and once again, race winning position extends the championship lead. It is Austin Cole. Austin, welcome in. Congratulations on the race win tonight. A win next week at Dega will win it for you. It'll win you the championship. You put yourself in a solid position to get yourself to this point this season. How does it feel knowing now that you're basically one win away from locking out this championship and winning it with 2 rounds to go with Iowa and Charlotte still to come after next week's race?
Bit stressful leaving. Or I guess it's a bit stressful to put the pressure on, hey, just win at Talladega. You'll win a championship. That's all you got to do. Yeah,
what a setting to have to do it at, though. I mean,
I know, right? No, this was a fun one though.
I mean, it looked like a heap of fun. Drivers were going off everywhere, and once again, you know, I don't know if you've got a little lucky rabbit's foot in your car or a 4-leaf clover. You just somehow stayed out of it and kept yourself tidy all throughout the race. We were focusing on you battling for quite a fair bit with Justin McCurdy. Was he putting a fair bit of stress on you throughout that race in terms of how fast he appeared to be and how well he was running for the majority of that race?
So, just Trey Martin invited me to his Discord chat today. So I was essentially teammates with Trey Martin, Jesse James, and Justin McCurdy. So he was kind of playing defense. I really wanted him to get the podium because I know that's what he really wanted. And like whenever I got past him, I guess he went wide in the tunnel turn. I was going to play rear gunner for him if he was in front of me. And I guess he played rear gunner for me when he was behind me. So I really got to say thank you to Justin. I really hate how the race ended for him. And I really wanted him to get either P2 or battle me for the win. But that's just not our win, unfortunately.
Well, you drove exceptionally well once again, Austin, this week. Dega next week, it's going to be an absolute crapshoot from who could win that one. If you do win it, though, you could be championship done and dusted if Mike Rinker can't hang with you in P2. But congratulations once again, Austin. And is there anyone you want to give a shout out to this week before we let you go?
Well, I got to thank my temporary teammates for the week, Justin McCurdy especially. Jesse James was great too, and Trey Martin was spotting for both of them after he unfortunately got taken out. Got to thank my family. They let me do this. And then my grandma. So I got 2 texts after this race, very different. One was my grandma saying congratulations on the win. I had to stand for the last 2 laps. That was what she said. And then it was my brother asking me if the driver's test was easy for his driver's license. So
2 completely different questions to be asked, I suppose.
very different.
But no, congratulations, Austin, on the race win once again. Best of luck at Talladega next week in your attempts to win the championship with 2 rounds still to run this season. We wish you the best of luck and appreciate your time once again.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Austin Cole, race winner here tonight and possible champion-elect as well going into the final round next week, Jack. And what a race it was to the very end, and the way that this is now shaking up the championship. Well, as we said, it could be finished as early as next week for Austin Cole, and it means that the final 2 rounds are, well, they're going to be go hell for leather and get some bragging rights at Iowa and Charlotte.
Yeah, exactly. It could just be for fun, essentially, for Austin Cole if he goes out and wins. Who knows?
Yeah, time will tell. But you guys will see us on your screens once again next week as we head out to Talladega for the Bailey's Bucket 150 for the 13th round of Season 1 here at the High Side Motorsports Gen 6 Cup Series. Coming up on your docket for the rest of this week as well, right here on Infinity Broadcasting. We've got later this evening, 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. The VRS Porsche Cup Series returns as we go racing at Daytona International Speedway on the Moto Road layout this evening. So that'll be an interesting one for you guys to check out later on with the 992.2 Cup Cars. We'll see if Mr. Anderson's racing later today. You going to be racing at Daytona, Jack?
No idea. I might be, I might not be.
We'll find out when we get there.
I'll put it that way.
We'll find out when we get there then. And then Saturday evening as well, the crescendo finale round to the closely contested Season 26 of the Racecraft Simulations. V8 Veterans split 2 action as it heads out to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for round 10 of Season 26. The championship is separated by 1 point between Reese Tagoe and Shane Randall, and they will decide who is the champion on the man-made island wondrous road course in Montreal. And we cannot wait to call that action. Myself and Brett Fisher in the booth for that one. And then we're back here once again with High Side Motorsports. Same time, same day, next week, right here on Infinity Broadcasting. A big shout out to the series sponsors, of course, Rinker Construction, Remodelling, Mattress by Appointment in Fremont, Ohio. Call 419-407-6652 to us here in Infinity Broadcasting as well. If you want to help support us, you can hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you get notified whenever we go racing right here on the channel. It also means that if you subscribe for an hour, you're able to get into the live chat with us here this evening and comment away as we broadcast along. We are 13 subscribers away from 350. We didn't make it to the end of February to get 350. Maybe we can get there by the end of March. You can help making a small step closer to that goal for us here by clicking that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And as well to Black Art Designs as well. If you're looking for a new paint for next season and you're running in High Side Motorsports, send me a message on Discord. We'll get you sorted with a good deal and a good paint on your car as well going into Season 2 of High Side Motorsports. But I've been Hamish Munro with Jack Anderson alongside. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your efforts once again being here with us for High Side Motorsports. Thank you all so much for joining us. And to Kelsey and Zach, condolences once again to Brutus and his passing this week. But until next time, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
High pressure, high stakes. It feels like the whole world's watching every move that I made. Another sunrise, another warning, but I'm still learning how to hold the line, how to quiet down the noise inside. And the moments slip away when I forget what I need. So I steady up my hands, let the rhythm set me free. I remember to breathe when the whole world shakes me down. Clear mind, finally free. I won't break, I won't bow. I'm holding on, holding on. Yeah, I'm stronger than I seem. I remember to breathe.